Tonight, see what truly exists inside the world of the paranormal. Inside. Join the discussion and review some of the best paranormal evidence captures from a wide variety of experienced and up-and-coming investigators. See and hear what they capture, where they captured it, and how they captured it. Right now on Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. I'm Chris.
I'm Audra.
I'm Tony.
I'm Cherie.
I am Lourdes.
And I'm going to say it. I'm Ron. That's it.
End of show.
That's it.
Huge opportunity there, and you just let it slide.
I know. We always sound so uncomfortable with our names when we have to say them. I don't understand.
Well, it kind of makes me feel like I'm in grade school, to be honest with you. It's like,
Yeah, roll call. Yeah.
We should have name tags. Or something.
I was thinking about
Bless
it.
you.
There's Todd and Carmel.
God,
Oh, hello.
Just saw them Friday. I mean, snow. Yeah, Central Jersey. Yeah, we're supposed to get 3 or 4 maybe inches up here in North Jersey. I know they're south of us.
Oh, I'm
30.
sorry.
Negative
Poor
30.
Melissa.
She's in Kansas. Oh, yeah.
Stay indoors.
no kidding.
Woo.
Kansas, you got to stay indoors any time of the day.
Yeah.
Anytime it's weather, so
Yeah. Oh, you know, you think you might want to move to a warmer climate, but then they have aliens down there. So, you know, I'd rather have snow.
yeah. So that's Jennifer. Jennifer's a portion of PPIT. Then
Yeah.
Everett, of course, is a portion of PPIT. PPIT.
Okay, there's your one. You're done.
You say it 3 times fast.
PPIT, PPIT.
hey, Tracy.
She's already making fun of me, guys. The show just
Sorry.
started.
You meant go, Leslie.
Let's go, Gingy. Yep.
Did you guys do anything exciting last week?
Yes, we did. Tony's going crazy with Nellies.
Oh, yeah. So, Roger, I have wanted
I blame Roger.
for a while now one of those furnaces to melt metal, because I have been collecting a shitload of silver and pewter and
No gold.
mostly silver.
Yeah.
And I wanted to melt it down. So I actually put up a post a while ago. I said, hey, did any of my friends melt metal? So was that last week? No, the weekend. Sometime during the week.
Saturday.
No, it was a
Yeah,
weekday.
okay.
It was early morning, I think. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But anyway, Roger sends me this thing, and it's the furnace I actually wanted, but it's like
400.
$400. And so it's on this auction site. And I said to him, have you ever used this? He goes, yeah. So I said, okay. He goes, you if you win the auction, you purchase it and you pick a pickup day, and then you just go get it.
It's like eBay bidding.
So I won the furnace at about a fourth of the cost of what I would have had to pay.
Wow.
It's all current merchandise. You can go to Amazon, look it right up. So then I bid on this electric fireplace, and I won it. It was $200 retail. I won it for $16. Then I asked Cherie where my juicer was, and she's like, oh, I got rid of that. I'm like, what do you mean you got rid of it? And so I knew I was going the next morning to pick it up, so I bid on a $110 juicer. I got it for $1.
Yeah.
Yes, this is carrot juice. It
that's-
works great.
That's what we did. He went shopping.
I did.
Wow.
What is it called? Nelly?
Nelly?
Nellie's. And they're in
They're in
a lot of
Phoenix, aren't they?
states. What?
Aren't they in Phoenix?
Well, they have to be. That's where you got.
I mean,
Well, yeah, there's actually there's a huge warehouse downtown,
yeah.
but the one I bought it from was in Mesa, so it was like an hour and 15-minute
Yeah.
drive to go get it. And there were so many people in line to pick up. It was unbelievable, but it took like couple of minutes, and we
Yeah,
were in
it's
and
awesome.
out. They brought them all to the car. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I worked on Staticom all weekend.
You
And
seem
then
frustrated.
I did a couple. I was at first. I was very frustrated, but now it fell together and did a couple lives. And yeah, exactly. I had a blast. In fact, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but this is my Shree's $16 fireplace. It is so cool.
Oh, that is cool.
It is.
Hang on.
Pumps out heat like crazy.
I have an issue. We're doing Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. You're like, man, I got a $1 juicer, and then you go, and then I did Staticom.
I know.
Right?
I was very frustrated until Ron and I connected and things started to. But I was fighting a new computer. I was fighting a new load of Staticom. I was fighting new components. I was fighting OBS like crazy. But then, I did a live and it went okay. It's not there yet, but it was.
Well, I
He
thought
almost-
you said you're giving up already.
Oh, I said that like 20 times.
Yeah,
He had said that.
that's a rite of passage. That's a rite of passage. You're not a Staticomer unless you've given up.
But like you, 20 minutes later, I'm going to try again. It's just.
Anybody that has never heard Tony say "F it, I give up" have never watched him set up equipment at a paranormal investigation.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
And he had a furnace he could have put the computer and everything in.
Right? You could have
I
smelled
thought
it.
about it.
I bet. You know what's funny? I saw that post when he was asking about melting metal, and I thought it would have been funny if Chris would have sent them a picture of him in a Superman shirt, just like this.
That's funny.
Oh,
I have
so
to
what about
apologize.
you guys?
I have to apologize. We haven't spent a whole lot of time on Facebook because it's just pissing me off lately. So
Yeah.
I go on there and do the show stuff, and then I get off because it's just not
Yeah, me
all
too.
advertisements anymore, and it's getting old.
Yeah, the advertising
A lot.
is crazy.
Yeah.
And it'll pick something up you've Googled in like 30 seconds. You go
Yeah.
back, you got ads, like it's ridiculous.
What did you guys do, Chris and Audra? Nothing?
No, just hung around, did house stuff,
Yeah.
went to dinner.
Nothing exciting. Went out to dinner.
Thanks, Todd.
Oh,
It's,
Oh,
I broke my foot.
oh yeah.
well, that's kind of a big
Nice.
deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was it, last Wednesday? Last Wednesday, I was doing my workout. You guys know I got my gym in the garage.
Yeah.
I was doing front thrusts, and my foot slipped and buckled.
Sound familiar?
Yeah. So my foot turned and buckled when I did my forward thrust. And I was like, ow, shit. So I finished my workout, went in, sat down, ate dinner, and I got up after dinner, and I was like, God damn, my foot hurts. What the hell? So we went to bed. And for those of you who don't know me, I have a really super high tolerance for pain because I went through some burns quite a few years back. But I went to bed, woke up the next morning, I couldn't walk on the damn thing. So I went to work, and I'm sitting there at work, and I texted Audra, and I'm like, do you think I should go to the doctor? Because usually when something hurts, I've really screwed something up. So, yeah, I ended up going to the urgent care, and I have a double fracture in my left foot.
Oh my God! And you went to work?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
All I need is a small headache, and I.
Oh, I feel nauseous. I'm calling out.
Yeah.
I did the front yard this last weekend, so I was doing the spraying weed, the killer.
Yeah.
So I was pumping, and I'm like, I think pumping the spray.
Oh, okay.
So I was pumping, and then so my chest hurt for 2 days, and I'm like, baby, I think I need to go to the ER. I think I'm having a chest. My heart is.
I said you probably pulled a muscle. I said, did you? And she's like,
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I thought I'm gonna die because I can't breathe. It's hard.
Muscle would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So luckily it's okay now.
Yay.
Yay for me.
Ron and Lourdes?
What'd you guys do?
Friday we went on an investigation.
Yeah, we went with Sector 12 with Mr. Danger Close from Ghosted Magazine, Todd and Carmela, who are watching, their buddy Eric, and Anthony Simonelli, Mr. Forget About It.
Cannoli, yeah, I saw
Mr.
that.
Cannolis, yep.
Yeah, so Todd and Carmela brought the cannolis, not Anthony.
Oh,
Yeah, they brought it for
They brought it because of him.
Simonelli.
Yep.
So we had a good time. The only the only bad thing is that it was a beautiful mansion. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And it was up a hill and it had no pavement to go up this hill and the beautiful home. But then leaving, it was pouring rain and there was no way to get the cars close enough to the house. So we had to go down that hill, all muddy and everything, with equipment and everything. It was crazy. A table that we had, it was crazy. But we made it and we did it and we had a good time and we got some good results
Good.
with Staticom. So it was good. We had a good time.
Yeah, it was cool, man.
And then I think the rest of the weekend we chilled.
1700s
wow.
to winery in
It's a winery. Oh, it's beautiful.
in South Jersey, and it's literally like you stand up there, you don't even know you're in New Jersey. It's like just like landscape,
Yeah,
and it
it's
looks like
all
the Carolinas, or
Oh,
it's
wow.
all just open fields, and the whole, you know, you see the
Walk
rows
into
of
the
the,
house.
where everything's planted and
Beautiful.
stuff. Beautiful old house. It was really good. It was a really good experience. So we
And
did
then-
that Friday, and then Saturday
We didn't do
we
it.
didn't do
We
anything.
just chilled.
We almost did
Saturday.
something Saturday, then we didn't.
Oh yeah.
How's that?
Nice.
No feet were broken in the not doing anything, and we didn't burn anything and melt anything.
Nope.
No.
We didn't pump anything
We
either.
did some Staticom tests and experiment stuff too. And Tony and I, for everybody who's always interested in progress and where this is coming out and going to be sold and all that kind of jazz, you know, we're working towards that. And we had another powwow where we exchanged notes and ideas and stuff and what we were trying. And it's really cool because when you spend all this time and all this conceptual figuring and thinking and trying, and then all of a sudden he goes, I did this, and you're like, oh.
That's
And I'm like, so it's cool because I think that's one of the advantages that we have is that it's not one person who's trying to figure this thing out, and I'll get ideas from what he's trying, or I'll get the ideas he's trying, and vice versa, and it's
Yeah.
really cool.
I
It's
agree.
really cool. So we're moving it forward, and we're working towards, because we have events like you guys have events coming up now when we have to put it on display. And when you
Right.
have events coming up, it's as good as it can be to anybody. It's never good enough to us.
Yeah, that,
could be better.
Ron actually said that to me the other night when I'm like, and he goes, he said, you know what, if anybody hears this compared to what they're used to hearing, they're going to be blown away regardless. I said,
Right.
I know, but it's gotta
Right.
be-
Yeah.
I get that. I get that.
Tony's one live, he came on, and the only thing that sounded like crap was his microphone.
Right. The voices,
The voices were amazing.
they were,
The voices were amazing.
but
Yeah, like I
like
said,
he had
the-
some audio issues. Yeah.
No, it wasn't even audio issues. It was that I
A fan?
plugged in my laptop, because of the power, speed, RAM. It has all these extra fans to keep it cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
same
think
here.
that was being picked up by my mic, because every time I spoke, you heard this
Yeah, it was only when you
behind
spoke.
me, and I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
And mic sensitivity and stuff. Because I have that too. The gaming laptops have fans on them to keep them. Mine does the same thing.
Yeah.
They get together, their team is being used for much since the
Oh, I don't know when you have get together.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been pretty quiet coming out of the holidays. So we have our first event coming up. We'll plug it at the end of the show. We love you too, Mr. Ronald Ert. He's a good dude. He's a good dude, man. He's got a good heart. Yeah, we have our first event coming up this Friday. We haven't done anything either. Raoul! What if I sound like the character from Shrek when I do that?
Todd's got to bring cannolis.
Yeah, Todd and Carmel are they're one of the unexpected surprises that when you do this, because we can do Staticom at home and never leave the house. I mean, we all know that. But when you go out and you get to work with different teams and people, and then you meet people like them, it's like that's why nobody can tell me that the field is a bunch of a-holes and all. Yeah, there's drama and people having their issues and stuff, but if you're not running in those circles, your experiences are people like Todd and Carmel, then there's there's every reason to look at the field with a positive outlook and not,
Agreed.
Yeah.
you know.
Couldn't agree more. In fact, every test I was doing on Sunday, every time I flipped it on, Todd and Carmela, they were there, and you guys were there, and Tracy was there, and a whole bunch of people watching. That was nice.
Hey, Jen.
Yeah, it's funny because one time Todd was on and he was late.
Oh yeah.
And I told Ron,
I went like 5 hours at one night.
I told Ron, well, what time does Todd go to sleep? Todd goes to sleep. And Ron looks at me and goes, when I put him to sleep.
When I tuck him in.
Yeah, that's right. It was really funny.
Yeah, she was, when does Todd go to sleep? I said, when I tuck him in.
It was funny.
If you were in Arizona, Tony, you'd be taking your stuff into your car for a Staticom event. You go, hey, remember last night I was doing Staticom and Todd covered. Hey, there they are.
That was awesome, though. That was great having them on, giving feedback. You guys too, Ron and Lourdes. It helps. It helps to understand what's going on and what's working, what's not.
We take the lead from you six. You're in trouble, Todd. You're in trouble.
All downhill from here.
Yeah. Nice knowing you.
You ever heard the term deep up shit creek without a paddle? You ain't even got the bolt when you're following us six.
Yeah. And look at that.
Yeah.
Everett. Everyone waiting for evidence is in for a treat. Why would Everett say that? Probably because we have guests tonight. We have guests.
Probably because we just spoke for 17 minutes without a guest. So
forgot.
maybe we should go to the guests.
Yeah.
So to be continued. No, I'm just kidding.
Tomorrow night.
We'll be back. No.
He's like,
And good guests. We have great guests. God, you can do the intro because Chris has spent more time with them than all of us.
They've been waiting. Hurry up, guys.
Others too.
Yes.
Okay, so for those of you that have never watched before,
Shame on you.
shame on you for one.
Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Welcome.
Not really. Shame on you.
Not really.
So tonight, guys, we've got a special treat for you. We've got Scott Reddick returning from PPIT, Piedmont Paranormal Investigations and Research. Him and his wife formed the group after they did an anniversary trip to Waverly Hills. You know you're sick and twisted when your Valentine's Day anniversaries and birthdays focus around the paranormal. Once they did that, they decided they needed a team. So Scott is a paramedic by trade. He also is a Navy veteran and a law enforcement veteran. Thank you, Scott, for your service. But they put together PPIT, and it's a fantastic group of people, guys. We've investigated with them on several of their privates. They've come out to the Montgomery house numerous times, which is all the evidence you're going to see tonight. Even if you're tired of hearing about it, it's fucking haunted. Come visit.
We got to go camping with Scott.
Yeah, we got to go camping with Scott, but that was different types of spirits.
We were spirits,
Yes.
but in the bottle form.
But we've got a special treat. Not only do we have Scott, but Scott also brings on new investigators that want to join their group here in North Carolina. And he found a really awesome person, Makayla Lawson. She's new to PPIT. Her first investigation was at the Montgomery house with Scott and PPIT. And not only did she get married to PPIT pretty close to the same time, she married her husband.
Aww.
So everybody say hello to Scott and Makayla. Hey, guys.
Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Look at Scott with the shades on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me in style tonight.
Paranormal so bright, you got to wear shades.
He's time traveling right after this.
From his basement. All right, Scott. Everybody knows Scott, Makayla. So tonight's about you, girl.
No pressure.
So when we have somebody new on the show, we always ask them, what got you hooked on the paranormal? So tell us, was it an experience? Your first investigation was at the Montgomery house with us and Scott and PPIT. So of course that's what hooked you, but why don't you tell us what really hooked you?
So I've always been around the paranormal, like my whole life. My family's always been very spiritual and had experiences from as young as 3 years old and up. So something I've always been tangentially aware of, but never really dove into until now.
Really?
From 3 years old.
What made you dive into it now after all those experiences and living the way you have?
I lost my screen.
I saw the opportunity to interview for PPIT, and it's something I've always wanted to do, and then I just jumped on it, and lucky enough to get on.
Awesome. That's
Very
fantastic.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Scott, are you having technical difficulties?
I am. I've lost my screen. I've got audio, but I may have to jump out real quick and then try.
Your camera looks clearer than it ever
I
has.
was gonna say, it looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know where you are, but we do.
I don't know where I am.
I'm going to jump out real quick and then come back in.
All right,
Okay.
we'll wait for
All right.
Bathroom.
So now, Makayla, now it's really just
Now we
about
have you all to
Really
us.
all on you.
Now we need you to tell us how Scott got started.
The best part is the man's screen goes out. He doesn't know he's still on the show. He can't tell, but the 3 computers behind him are working perfectly.
You picked the wrong one.
Okay, he's
Wrong
back.
screen.
There he is.
There he is.
Can you see us now?
Yes. I have no idea what happened there.
I don't know, but the ones behind you are working great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
So, Scott, you and Makayla have quite a bit of evidence tonight. A lot of it is picture evidence, which is fantastic. We love
Yeah.
it. So why don't you tell us what your evidence is about tonight, and then we'll go into the pieces.
Well, first of all, the investigation was set up to be Makayla's first investigation when she came onto the team. So we thought this is going to be a great place. So, but our previous investigations had also brought up some evidence that we also wanted to further explore, because a lot of times with investigations, you get the evidence, you go reviewing, and of course Montgomery House is an hour and a half away. It's not like we can go just jump up and go try to debunk something, so we get back out on the other on another investigation, and we're like, let's follow up on some stuff. So a good part of the evidence we got this trip was centered around us, our previous investigation. Let's see. I sent you the picture of the dining room, right?
Yeah,
Well,
I already had it, but yeah.
Yeah, a lot of our investigation centered around that photo, because it's one of the best pieces of evidence we've ever gotten as a team in total, and it was at Montgomery House. So I think I sent that to Chris so we could refresh everybody's memory on it, but that one photo led us to finding several other pieces this last trip. So,
and for everybody watching that don't know, the Montgomery House, I'll make this as quick as I can. Audra knows that's usually not the case. But, the Montgomery House is an 1830s plantation home that Audra and I discovered out when we first moved out here by Charlotte. And we control investigations for the Montgomery County Historical Society. This 1830s plantation home was originally on a 5,000-acre cotton plantation and has been on its original foundation since the day it was built. And we discovered quite a few. We went to the Historical Society and asked if we could investigate it, and if we could prove to them that it was haunted, we could raise money for them by bringing paranormal groups like PPIT in and letting them investigate the house. And we've been controlling it now for almost 3 years. So, wow. And Scott's group's PPIT's been there 4 or 5 times.
I
know.
Yeah. So every time they're there, they get even better evidence than the time before. So.
Right.
That's a fantastic location for people watching. If you watch a show before you've heard us talk about it, somebody at some point brings it up. That is part of its history now. The first location when all 6 of the Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence crew was in the same place to hunt, investigate, research, whichever.
Yeah.
At the same time. And it was awesome. So for Makayla to have had, dive into the deep end part 1 at a place like that, that's being in the right place at the right time with the right people, because PPIT we've had on before, Scott, Everett, and that team is just they're good people, which is the foundation for any
Right.
good team. I don't care how good your evidence is. If you don't have the good people part of it down, not a good team.
Thank you.
So
Very true.
really cool location.
Yeah.
It
Did not disappoint when we went.
Yeah.
No.
Not at all. All right, Scott. So let's start with. So this was not the last investigation. This was the previous investigation before that one. So the last one was in November. The one prior to that was
March.
Yeah. So we can talk through these. The pictures we can talk through. So this is the original photo.
Yeah.
So this
Oh.
was
Yeah, right there.
taken by one of the team members, Mike Bennett. He was in the house by himself, and as you can see, the sun had not quite gone down yet.
Right.
And this was it's set up as kind of like a dining room, but it used to be, not sure what the room was before, but they actually used this room as a courthouse for Montgomery County for quite a few years because the major courthouse downtown had burnt down. So this was actually a courthouse, but this figure was caught. Mike was the only one in the house.
That's so awesome too. I mean, you can see he's wearing a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What looks like a gray long sleeve shirt, pants. That's amazing. And he's reaching towards the cabinet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so amazing.
Oh, Brian Grill, you're 2 hours away from there. You need to call Chris and Audra.
Brian and his wife might actually be coming down for a tour next week. So
Ooh.
It's well worth the 2 hour drive. I would do it far more often if it was not as far as it is for us. 2 hours.
Yeah.
yeah, so here is
That's a great.
Ooh,
Wow.
Look at that.
reversing the contrast.
Great. I told you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
Look at that.
Best we can figure from the dress on it, we believe it to possibly be a Civil War soldier.
Could be.
That's
So we talk about timing and relevance. This was, an area where Civil War would have taken place. They would have been, We have Wilmington, which is south of us. That was New Brunswick. So the Revolutionary War, they were traveling back and forth. The Civil War, of course, were in the south. But ironically enough, Dr. Montgomery and Mrs. Montgomery that owned the house in 1830 and built the plantation home, two of their sons, they had 3 sons, 2 of them died in the Civil War. So which even makes it more interesting. So
Relevant.
and relevant, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great count.
And Chris, you and Audra know better than anybody because you've been there countless times. But from the one time we were there, there's nothing in that corner between that mantle and that little, was it like a curio or something in the corner?
Yeah, so bring this
There's
picture back up.
nothing there.
From the corner of the mantle to the corner of that corner cabinet is just flat wall. There's nothing there. So there's nothing that can be distorted in the camera to
Just
make
like
it
on the
appear
other
like a
side of
human,
it.
right?
Yeah.
So if you look at the chair, between the chair and the window, that's basically what the wall looks like where you see the figure.
to answer Jennifer Grubb's question there, Mike took this with just cell phone camera.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the actual original.
Yeah, that's the actual original. He took that simply with cell phone camera.
That's
And
good,
this
man.
is just reverse contracts, like a negative. So
That's very
That's
cool.
an awesome shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really is.
yeah, it's fantastic.
That's
So
a great
why is
shot.
that pertinent, Scott?
All right. So now that everybody's memory's refreshed, I guess we can move on. Where are we going next there, Chris?
We might as well go to the ones that you think are tied to it. So the relativeness.
Okay.
There you go. Zach Bennett from the team was also awesome. There he goes. It's a Samsung S21 Active.
Yep. So Mike Bennett is Zach's father. And Zach and Mike are both members of the team. Zach's your lead investigator, correct?
Yeah, he's my team manager and lead investigator.
So behind the house, there's an open field. So the original house sat on a 5,000 acre cotton plantation, right? It sits at the base of the Warriors Mountain. And from the back of the house, the cotton plantation went all the way to what was the PD River, which is now Lake Tillery. Yes.
Yes.
That is ash. Yet. And so behind the house now belongs to a logging company. And the original the Montgomery County Historical Society only owns about 1.5 acres of the property now. This picture was taken behind the house. Oops, wrong one. Here we go. Now this is a contrast. This isn't the real. This isn't the negative. The standard picture.
Well,
No, here's the
no,
original.
that's not it.
We have a bunch of those, Scott. Let me go to. All right. Sorry, guys. So I am going to share. I'm going to share my screen so we can zoom in and out. Here we go. Which one's the original, Scott? What was the name of it?
Civil War Soldier in the Woods original photo.
I could not laugh.
You're doing 8 things at once, all right?
Scott, and he said it so nonchalant, like it's the one with original in it.
This is the original photo. You took this one, or Ash did?
I took that. This was, of course, as y'all know, one of my favorite ways of doing photography is UV black light high definition photography. So that's what this was. I was actually we picked up on some stuff in those woods in the past. Where Chris and I had actually during this investigation observed a mist go by one of our DVR cameras. Chris and I are like 30 feet away from this camera. We don't see a mist or anything, and we see this on screen. We're watching this mist go by. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna start taking pictures back there. And this is what I got. So look off to the far right there. We have what appears to us to be a Civil War soldier. We zoom in, it almost looks like he's holding a rifle.
He sure is.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing. Chris, is that the old road?
No.
No.
That is the open field behind the house.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
where the shed.
But there's a road that went back, or an old.
There's a road over to this side, and then the old shed's over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I thought. The shed was on the right. Okay.
Yeah, the shed's on the right. This is right before the tree line starts.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then we get to examining it closer. And I don't think I've ever had more pieces of evidence in one photo than this one. Because if you look up in the woods, you can see 2 faces right in there. And then Chris is always saying he's picked up on an animal in there. And the one to the left there, to me, sure looks animal-like to me. So...
Not sure. Chris, go back to the figure though. Is he headless?
No.
Yeah.
I can see both hands. I can see up to the shoulder. I can see both legs. I don't see anything past that.
Yep. No.
And there's a sign, I think, on the road approaching it says "No shoulder, just ahead."
Oh, you so serious.
Why? There's another one too. I think it says "Stop ahead."
Well, here's what's really interesting, and Scott's got a bunch of zoom ins on this.
Okay.
I was looking at this the other day,
Matches this.
or Scott had sent it to me, but if you look really close,
Leg, hand,
what do you see here?
arm, jacket.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see a dress. I see 2 arms. I see a bonnet.
Matches.
Mm-hmm.
It almost looks like there's also a female standing there too.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Yeah, I see it.
See it right here?
But yeah. Yeah.
But this one was the one that stood out to us when Scott snapped the photo, because this area where you see this figure standing here, was wide open with like grass like this.
Yeah.
There's no trees there. There's no bushes there.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah. Chris and Otter was sitting in their truck when I took this picture, and I picked up on it immediately when I reviewed the photo. And I turned around, I walked over to Chris's truck and said, "You got to see this."
Is the gun in what would be his left hand on the right side?
My shoulder here.
Yeah.
Yeah, left side. Looks like he's holding it with maybe one arm, not the
A
other.
pistol.
It looks like a pistol.
Looks like a pistol in his left hand.
He may have
Pointed
had
down.
two guns. I mean,
Yeah.
one rifle and one.
I think the rifle, to me, the rifle looks like it's right there at his waist. And then it's
Right, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it looks like it's a pistol.
Or he's extremely well hung, one of the two.
Raul, forget about my inquiry about tent camping there.
Well, what's most interesting about this is Audra and I have said for a couple of years now that yes, we've said for quite a couple of years now that we pick up a servant girl back here in this area.
You said that when we were there. Yep.
Yeah, and then at the tree line, we very often get a Native American girl in the trees, and they never cross. No. The Native American girl always stays in the tree line, and the servant girl always stays in this area here. So I'm almost wondering, it almost looks like a Civil War soldier, but I was telling Scott the other day, I almost wonder if maybe it's servants still working.
I mean, it's possible.
Because you see this one with the bonnet and the dress and the arms, and then you see this one here that looks like a male. If you look over here, what is that?
Like it almost looks like
It looks like a woman in a hat wearing
in a distance.
It does.
Meters attire.
Yeah.
And it almost matches the same attire as the one standing here. See the bonnet?
Mm-hmm.
Can you zoom in on the one that's that one? I know it gets crazy when you get too close. It gets distorted.
yeah.
But it almost looks like she has some type of sash on her dress here. See it?
It does, but when you zoom in on that one, even just a little bit more, you can see the plant life out of it.
On the top.
Oh yeah, you can.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. No.
Yep.
And I don't see that on the figure
over here.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
is it
the other one.
one eye behind her though? Because you don't see it all the way through. Like zoom, do it again.
No, what you see here is there's two trees that are down.
Right, but you see, like, well, you can't see where I'm pointing, but I don't see the completion of where it ends. Like I see where the green begins, and then it kind of disappears, and then there's a little tip of it. I don't know.
I mean, this could be a little bit of pareidolia, but this over here,
It could be, yeah.
this over here is definitely not.
Actually, zoom back in on that one.
This
and
one?
then go to the right.
There's a face.
Yeah, there's a face. Looks like it's looking at it. I just noticed that.
Huh.
Yeah.
It also almost looks like one of those impressionism paintings.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, this is a flippin' Van Gogh here.
Yeah, it is. Looks like a Monet.
Well, here, this will give you an idea. Let's do a concept of size. So these trees are about 20 to 30 feet tall.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at the stars. So let's get a point of reference. So if this tree's 20 to 30, this tree's 20 to 30, this tree's probably 20 to 25. That would make whatever this standing here is somewhere between 5 and 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Todd's a horticulturist.
Yeah, I think that's a plant.
I think he's right.
I think that's a plant. But the other one, that first figure.
Yeah,
when you zoom in on it enough, I can see the plant structure.
Yeah.
So I agree with Todd. The other one, and I'm not sure we're all looking at the same thing, because when you back that one out, I can't tell if the body's the whole thing or because I'm just seeing it like right up to that dark black, and then I see something else.
I can tell you right now, when Scott first took this picture and went out there and reviewed it, this area is exactly the same as this spot right here. Mm-hmm. There was nothing here that would have appeared in the picture to be the shape of a human.
Oh, I believe that because it looks completely out of place with the surrounding plant life. But just zoom in on that one on the far right.
This one?
Yeah. And I can't tell, because if you look at the brownish legs, and then you see the two whiter areas that look like hands, but I can't tell what's above any of that. That looks like plant life above.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
The legs, the chest, the arm.
That's got to be something off in the distance because there wasn't any plants up that close. So that's probably trees.
I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
Yeah, the bottom left hand, its left hand on our right, that looks at that little that looks like a pistol.
In the
right there.
In the bottom.
To the right of where you have the cursor. Below that.
Right
that.
Yeah, like that.
It looks like a pistol facing down.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't.
if that's the case, he's facing towards us, and maybe this is like a belt buckle.
Yeah,
Well,
there you go.
you know what I see? I see like if he's walking towards the wooded area with a pistol and one leg is bent, the I'm
Like
gonna call it the left.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If you go back out there, tell him to change the color of his clothing so he stands out better against the background.
Yeah, damn it.
That's reasonable.
He's making it tough for us.
Civil War era camouflage.
It does look like that, yeah.
Bright red. Bright red is fine.
Or white.
That's pretty cool, though.
That's really cool.
And what was really cool is that mist that the camera that Scott was talking about was over here, facing back this way.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, didn't it move when you snapped
I
the
was
photo?
going to say,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it did.
So that mist that crossed the camera went back through this way. That we didn't see the mist, but we watched it cross the camera as we were staring that direction. There was nothing there.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was caught on camera.
Yeah.
So you didn't see it.
No, we didn't see it with our eyes.
You missed
And
the
then
miss.
What's really weird is right before Scott snapped this photo, he has a motion activated camera back there. That's what it was.
Right.
It turned that direction. That's why he snapped the photo.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It is a big prime case for your situational awareness because you couldn't explain a lot of what you're able to vet with the picture if you didn't know what the terrain looked like. You couldn't.
Yep. And that motion camera constantly all night kept focusing in that area where we see that soldier. It kept panning to that area. But this is the photography is the only thing that we caught anything on, but the motion sensor on the camera kept going to that area.
And I don't know if it's as a constant, but I know when we were there wasn't a lot of activity with animal life happening on the property where you could say, well, that was probably what the camera was getting drawn to. But I don't think it happens a lot there, does it?
No, you'll hear.
And the temperatures that night would have had most animals.
It was 38 to 42 degrees, somewhere in that direction.
Ah.
And the most animal activity we've gotten out there is packs of wolves howling off in the distance. An owl across the road the last time we were there. That was about it. Yeah. We haven't had anything close to the house.
The wolves don't say "Raoul."
That's actually exactly what they were saying on one night.
Bring your tent.
Come on over.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So let me stop sharing that. Scott had a bunch of zoom ins on there, but we got to zoom in on that one. So that was.
Yeah.
He has got another one from upstairs.
Let's start with the one with Everett in it. Of the story. The rest of the evidence keys off of that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So This is Everett and Jennifer. They were upstairs in that room immediately to the right at the top of the stairs.
James Patterson.
As we were, they were coming out, Everett was like, I feel something like it's past rooming. So I'm like, well, time to start snapping photos. And as you can see, it's kind of hazy. This photo is as well. It was like that to the point we actually went to go get Chris because we were like, we hope something's not like catching on fire in here. So we would like, we need to start turning some lights on and everything. But while we were waiting on Chris to come up, you know, I took another photo, but Everett can probably put in the chat a little more detail as to what he was feeling at that moment. But I think it's the first time he's had like an experience of something like touching him or going through him. And so that was kind of a very, you know, poignant moment for him in his paranormal career. But you know, and then let's see here. Go to the next photo. I think it's in that group down the hallway.
The black mass.
Yeah. So while we're waiting on Chris to come up,
Yeah.
I get this black mass down at the end of the hallway.
Let me see.
Hand. Do you not see a hand at the bottom of the?
Yes.
It's to the right of the camera, right where that little white table or something is on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So let me do this. StreamYard doesn't allow us to zoom. Let me share again.
Yeah, Zoom is a competitor.
All right. So
thereby disallowed.
So the first thing I want to point out before we start looking at the black mass is when you're standing at the end of the hallway looking towards these doors, the one on the right looks exactly like the one on the left. Always.
Mm-hmm.
Is that main area at the top of the stairs?
Yes. The two doors going out to the front.
Yeah, because we had the Staticom set up in front of the flag banner on the right side, right there.
Right
here. I was pretty much standing in the area that y'all would have had Staticom set up at.
Okay, so I know where that is. That's hard to not look at.
Where do you see the hand? Oh, wait, no.
At the bottom, yeah.
This?
I'm still trying to discern whether or not it might be patterned in the door that's making it look like a hand, but
it might
the black mass is right by it, so it fits the picture.
But yeah. I mean, you guys have been there. I mean, Scott, you guys have been there multiple times. But Makayla was there that night. When you're standing at the top of the stairs, looking towards these doors, they both look like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
wow.
yeah. So that's I was like, well, and I didn't catch this until on review as well. But when I was snapping the pictures, you know, I could clearly see the two doors, you know, as I'm snapping the pictures. But this black mass is what came out of it.
So you didn't see this; it showed up in the picture.
Good question.
Yeah.
I have a question, Scott. What's illuminating the room on the left in a green light?
That's where we had the laser grid set up in the dress room.
That makes sense. Okay.
Gotcha.
So, and we have some evidence from that as well. So,
very cool. Wait, Everett's comments back up. Not just because it was cold; it was tingling cold through my body. You had shorts on, Everett.
That's true.
Hang on. Everybody on the East Coast will agree with me on this one. At 46 degrees, we still wear shorts. We're not in Phoenix.
All right.
Shorts with sweatshirts.
That's right. Shorts and sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a feeling I haven't felt.
It does kind of look like a human outline on it as well on the mast. I guess the top half of does kind of have a.
Even if it doesn't create a form, it's definitely a black mass. It's not.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, it's something that
And
is
nothing
not
was
going
on
to be there.
Oh.
I'm just amazed at how it's darked out, as dark as those windows next to it. Like it cuts all the detail out of the door.
Right.
Yeah.
It takes all the detail away from the top half of that door completely.
Because it's that window on the right there, right? The
Right.
panes next to it is
Correct.
just as dark as outside.
Is this taken by a cell phone camera, or what are you
This
using?
this would have also been my UV blacklight setup, which is, yes, it's a cell phone camera. It's on the new S23 Ultra, which has a very, very good camera on it.
I have S23. Woohoo!
Yeah.
And the reason you're seeing the red down at the bottom and the flag glowing is because he has a blacklight attachment too on it. So.
Yes. I have a whole tripod set up where I can stabilize the cell phone camera, mount the blacklight to it, and then of course my phone, it has a stylus that has a button on it that I can use as a remote trigger for the camera. So.
But there's no black light created on this planet that's going to create a black mass like that. That's going to block out the door.
No.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's no lighting configuration anywhere in the area that could be casting.
No.
You don't see the door. You don't see some of the door.
Oh, most of the
This
doors.
was taken probably about 5 seconds after Everett was saying something's like passing through me.
Could be.
Well, they went through Everett, went out the door.
Yeah.
It's reflecting his camera.
It's not Mrs. Montgomery. She wasn't that big.
Oh,
No, it would.
no.
But you can also see too, it also blocks out the trim on the side of the window too. So you can see right here where the edge of the 2x4s that Chris is so nicely put there to hold the window in.
That poor house.
Poor houses, it's falling apart.
She needs so much love.
And these are true divided lights. These are single lights, original glass. You can see where some of the glass is missing, and I've tucked pieces of wood in. Like right here's a big piece of wood that I've put in one of the glass panes that's missing.
All right.
So
Yeah, there's no discernible cause from a materialistic point of view
no,
that we can see. And again, you guys all have a wealth of experience in the location. So if there was something we weren't seeing that was there, you'd know.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, that shouldn't be there.
Now the top half of the door should look like this.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think about the black mask on the left of the window? It looks pretty the same on the right.
You mean over
Is
here?
it?
No, I
No,
think
the
she's
left.
talking about the one on the other side of the window.
Yeah. Right, to the left a little bit. You see the black?
I think that's
Right
just
here.
going to be a shadow cast by whatever the.
Yeah, by these boards that are hanging there.
Yeah.
Mhm. Gotcha.
Yeah, because if you look really close, you can see the top edge coming down to the left-hand side. So that's a shadow being cast off of this. But this almost looks like a smoky haze. It's weird.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And of course, as Chris gets up there, we turn lights on and everything. We don't see anything that is smoking, on fire, or anything like that. So, which was, one of our original, fears was like, let's make sure something's not about to burn down here. But everything was clear. You turn the lights on, it was clear as day inside the house. So.
Yeah, I see Brian's comment mirrored what I originally thought I saw, which was like a hand reaching down, right?
Yeah, it does.
And I'm not sure.
I don't see that.
Me neither. I don't see that.
Well,
but I definitely see the.
I don't see it as much
the
as being
shadow.
zoomed in, and when he zoomed
Right,
in,
it's easier to see back out. It looks like somebody reaching, like bending over through the door.
Like this.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah.
And
I
I'm still
could-
trying
I
to
could
figure
see
out if
that.
that's not a pattern in the wood that's causing that.
That's what it looks
I
like.
think that might be the pattern in the wood.
Yeah.
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 When you first glance.
Because that'd be
at
hella
it.
creepy if the hand was that flipping big. Gary, I'd be handing the keys back, going, "Here you go."
We're done.
Here you go, Scott.
Enjoy.
It's all yours, buddy. Now, you guys want to see something creepy? Let's go. Scott calls this first floor fun. I don't call this very fun.
Okay, so we're back. No, the one, the other one.
Oh, I told the other one. I want you to explain what this is
Okay.
first.
Okay, so this is actually a follow-up shot taken by Zach. Of course, we're in there following up from the original photo we showed at the beginning of the show. This, you can see it's the same cabinet and everything. So we wanted to pursue that a little bit more. So in reality, this is a follow-up shot by Zach.
For people that saw that picture earlier with the Civil War soldier, this is the cabinet in that corner where we said there was nothing there.
There's nothing there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And yeah, he's just moving around the room, trying to get photos from different angles and whatnot. So we get this. One of his photos he gets is this. Now, as you can see, there's something down there. The ironic part of this is when Zach's going through, there's nobody sitting there, but earlier my wife Heather was sitting there with, I believe it was a spirit box, attempting to communicate and whatnot. But when this photo was taken, she was not there. But whatever is sitting there is
Peeking over the table.
Yeah, it's sitting there, and it looks like to me, it looks like it has white eyes that are staring back at Zach. You know, if you zoom in,
You see the shoulder there too.
see the shoulder, you see the outline of a head, and to me, the eyes look like they're glowing white.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the hair.
Yeah, looks
You can actually see the edge of the head.
Mm-hmm.
looks like cat's eye with a big.
Yeah,
Looks like a little monkey peeking over the table, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, kind of. But we don't know if it was something that was, maybe there's a doppelganger there that was imitating Heather sitting in the floor.
Well, Heather doesn't look like BJ and the bear.
But you know, well, that's true as well. But
Can you zoom in any more, Chris?
It looks like an owl. Yeah. Oh my God, that's.
Oh, I see him better
See the
now.
hair?
Yeah.
See all the hair?
That I'm seeing.
That's a white shirt.
yeah,
That's creepy.
And I can tell you guys, I've been in this house over 100 times, easily. There's nothing between this chair and this table.
No.
So, guys, what is that thing on the right that looks like a black mask? What is that? What's that? Yeah, what is that?
I think that's like a candle holder or something.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the Christmas decoration sitting on top of the table.
Okay.
But then you know, Zach moves, is still moving around the room, and then the follow-up shot that you showed, before this, he gets that, and it clearly shows there is nothing there.
Ooh, yeah.
So,
That's creepy.
That's hella creepy, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Y'all, you know how many times? Oh, I see what that is. That black shadow you're seeing is a shadow from the decoration on the table. See it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But there's nothing here.
Yeah, there's nothing there. I don't see anything.
Did you guys feel anything in there? Like,
I feel like I'm going around that room next time I'm in the house. Is what I feel.
I just can't tell what that is though. I only see this little triangle thing
And when he zooms in, you can kind of see eyes there.
right here.
Yeah, but this looks like a tool to me.
Zoom in again, Chris.
I see like the eyes, but I feel that I don't know. I'm not. I know that I can see there's something there, but for some reason, I don't know. Is that I feel like that pointy thing is like a tool, or what do you?
Right
What do you?
That-
Yeah, what is?
That's a candle
not that.
sitting in the middle of the table.
Rainbow can.
No, not that part. The next to it, there's like a.
What you see?
Oh, I think I see.
You see it as a
what you're saying.
tool.
Yeah, it's like a
Right here?
curvature.
No clue what the hell that is.
Yeah, that. Yeah,
I see that more than anything.
I have no clue what that
and
is.
that's not there, right? So
not.
I'm a little.
Unless
That's
it's like a hand coming up like this.
Maybe.
It looks more. Well, I mean, okay. Now we're assuming we're looking at something crouching, but it does. It looks like the shoulder being lit, whereas the hair and the face are not.
Right.
But again,
Okay.
So
Either
when
way-
we toured the house, Chris, you mentioned that there was like a child downstairs, right?
Yeah, Joseph. But that's not what Joseph looks like.
No.
No.
That's definitely interesting, man, because there's nothing there in the other picture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Zach can in the comments give a little more detail as if he felt anything or anything like that while he was taking these photos. But
Especially his smile.
but I think it, and I don't see here. It would have been Zach. I think Everett and
That and then like
All I really see.
I want
is
to say
that.
Zach, Everett, and Ash
Yeah.
were in the
Oh,
house.
that's interesting. Do you see Ash?
Mm.
Or an elemental, maybe?
What was that?
I don't know. I heard it too.
oh
That's
that's
our
my
dog.
dog.
That's what I figured.
Oh,
That's
I'm
Evie.
sure it's
Yeah,
gonna tell you.
I have no idea. I have no
I
idea
think
what
it's
this
taller
is.
than that, Ash.
I know this is the candle. I have no idea.
Yeah,
what
that's the candlestick, but
I have no idea what that is.
yeah.
And I sure as hell don't know what the hell that is.
Okay. So Zach is saying that he did feel like something was there. Of course, Zach does have some metaphysical abilities as well.
Well, look, judging by your picture, Zach, you're right. Makes me want to not go through the courtroom by myself anymore.
Well, you know, this is also the same courtroom where on our very first investigation we got that scream.
This is also the same room where we got from the six of us, we got the rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
how did that go?
Rah, rah, rah.
I knew he would do it.
perfectly duplicated.
Move that chair. Move that chair.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's hella creepy.
Mm-hmm.
You blame the doll.
He blames-
Does.
Yeah,
You know
this
what's
was
even creepier is the day before they took this photo, I was in the house by myself for like 2 hours.
It's never bothered you before. I've seen you walk through the whole hospital by yourself.
It doesn't
Yeah.
bother me. You know what? When the things are my height, it's not as creepy to me. Like to see this little fucker peeking over the table. Like, that might set me back a little bit.
They were trying to say Rathman,
Probably.
as any decent spirit would. Very funny, Ronald. That was good.
That was good.
So for anybody interested in investigating the Montgomery house, we're going to lock you in by yourself for 14 hours.
Yeah.
Figure out what that is.
You figure out what that black mass is upstairs. You tell us what the little monkey by the table's doing.
And
Yeah.
let us know.
All right. Then go outside and tell Raul he'll be in the tent.
He'll be in the tent. Just so you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. You guys
That is
remember the
creepy.
show BJ and the Bear?
Yeah.
The trucker
Yeah.
with the little
It was
champagne.
one of my favorite shows. Yeah.
I'm seeing the chimpanzee's white shirt, his black hair, and that's his face with his right
It
between his
does.
eyes right there. Doesn't it look like a little?
Yeah.
Looks
Have
like
you
a
done-
chimpanzee.
Have you done the negative like you did with the soldier and the other pictures on this one before?
Oh, that's a good question,
Yeah.
Ron.
I didn't even think about doing that.
That might be.
I would, because there's something there, and I guarantee you're going to have a better assessment of how much is there if you do that.
Yeah, that's a great call.
Because you could see that soldier in the other picture, and when you went the negative on it, it was like, whoa.
You can really see
So
it.
it's got to do something for
Wow,
this.
you bump the exposure up, you can really see it.
Look at the exposure.
Exactly.
You can see the
Oh, there's Roger.
hair.
See. And I think Heather's also watching. Who my dear loving wife is stuck in Fort Wayne, Indiana right now. So she flew up to see her
Whoa.
family.
Look at the contrast change. You can see
That's
the outside head.
I'm still having trouble seeing the whole head, but I do see the area where you saw the eyes now.
Yeah.
What did you do to it, Chris?
It changed.
So I brought the exposure up. I lowered the contrast, and I raised the shadows. Look at that.
Yeah.
God,
And it looks translucent too.
Our audience is starting to swear now.
That means we're doing good.
Yeah, damn right. I mean, Scott and Makayla are doing good.
Well, yeah, it's their evidence.
So
But,
if I change the highlights, the contrast, and the exposure, look at that.
I know, that's crazy.
Adjust them a little bit more. Push them to their max. I want to see what happens.
Everybody's going to sign off.
That's it. That's all I got on that.
All right. How about I can't read what those other ones are. Saturation. What's underneath saturation?
Warmth and tint.
Warmth doesn't do anything.
See what tint does.
No.
Okay. No, not much.
Changes
All right.
the green red.
That already made it a noticeable difference because I'm not sure what else could produce the pattern of what that looks like.
It literally looks like a little monkey creeped behind the table, doesn't it?
Some kind of a creature, yeah.
Yeah.
I would go with monkey. Why not?
The creepiest part of this is knowing that there's nothing there.
Well,
Yeah.
and with the changes you made, you can see that whatever that white, whether that's a shoulder or whatever,
Right.
it disappears behind the edge of the table.
And the edge of the chair, look.
Right.
So it's definitely
it's solid.
behind the chair. It's a
Yeah.
solid. Well, it's.
Well,
I don't know if I'd call it solid, but it's.
but it's behind the chair, so
Yeah.
it's not like
Yeah.
you can always.
And it's in front of this chair because you can see the edge of this chair coming up behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's between the two chairs, between the table and the two chairs.
Well, even the
Yeah.
Even the cabinet.
pot or coffee pot,
Yeah.
you know, you can tell that's in the front, overlaps.
Yeah.
What you, huh. Interesting.
Very.
It is.
Zoom out even more. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not Sarah.
No, that's not there.
I don't think that's Sarah.
No.
Wow.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
It is creepy.
Great
Right.
picture.
I don't know if I can ever watch the Muppets again.
Yeah, and to think that this is the exact same location.
Yeah.
That's
It
what's
was
cool.
between these two
And
chairs right here.
This photo was taken, just seconds after that one.
Slightly different angle, but not a big
Yeah.
enough angle to not have it show up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
It would show up.
The angle is not really pertinent to what the photo seconds later establishes. That's
Right.
something there that would have been causing that little thing peeking up and whatever that reddish thing that when you change it with eyes, I can't. There's nothing there that would create that.
He's looking for his precious.
Precious ring.
I mean, you can try. Why don't you?
Do it on this one,
Yeah, do the contrast stuff and everything on this one. Let's see what happens.
because then if there's
I don't see
anything
anything.
in the background that could cause something like that to happen when you change the contrast, it would do it here. I don't think you're going to find
No,
it.
I don't think so either. But let's give it a shot.
But
See,
it's-
nothing.
Yeah, it didn't bring anything out.
Nada.
No,
So if there was something in the same depth of field
it
that
would have
was
brought it out.
that was manifested through this photo manipulation, it would still show up now, I would think.
It would.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. There's nothing in the same shape pattern. Nothing.
Now, I'm no photographer. I've been in a few photos from now and then, but but seriously, there's nothing there that could create the false positive. Even you did the same manipulation to the settings on this one.
Yeah.
That's Smiggle.
Schmeagle.
The Lord of the Ring.
Niggle.
Yeah.
She says
And
Smiggle.
that's what it looks like. That's what I see more than the monkey.
No,
Yeah.
I can't think of it now.
Oh,
You see-
Smiggle.
Smiggle. Oh, what's the name? The Lord of
Smiggle.
the
I forgot.
Whatever it is, that's what I see
Yeah.
more.
Right.
It's Schmiegel.
So let's do the same
Close enough.
contrast again. Raise the shadows. Contrast goes the other way.
Yeah.
Change the saturation.
Bump the exposure up.
Yeah, look at that.
That's what it looks like.
What could, I mean,
Like a little hobbit.
like it has like lizard, like red,
It does look
yellow
like-
eyes.
Yep. It looks like lizard to me. Lizard-like to me.
I mean, they're if you want to get really technical, and this is not my forte, but that they're almost symmetrically placed with the same kind of shape around the yellowish eyes, like almost like lizard-like.
Yeah, and Audra's right. If you look at it, it looks like a Monchichi.
You guys remember those?
Remember the Monchichi dolls?
Yeah.
See the hair? I'm telling you, it's BJ and the bear reincarnated.
I just saw a comment. Someone said something looked like it was looking in the window.
Oh, that's Anthony. Yes.
Oh, in the other picture?
In the other picture.
That was a
Yeah.
reflection of the back of our pickup. It's right outside that window in that picture.
Soul glow hair.
Soul glow.
Full glow. That's
Wow.
wild.
That is wild.
I don't have an explanation for that.
He has a
You know what's even more crazy is if you were walking through and saw it when you took the picture.
Yeah, and this would happen with a rule. He would have had a double underwear change. No doubt.
Bring a
Here's
tenant
the,
up
most, here's the most amazing part. We've had, when we approached the Historical Society about investigating the place,
There's nothing there.
the older guy, Dave, Captain Dave, he was so great. He was like, there was never any like axe murders or anything there. That doesn't mean it's not haunted.
Yep.
And we've caught so much stuff there. It's crazy.
Oh,
All right.
Believe me, that's a special joke.
What?
oh,
It's so true.
So let's go. There's one more picture. God damn it, I closed it.
Stop.
What?
Stop closing it.
We stopped closing it. Again. You're trying to do a show here, dummy. This one.
Yeah.
I want you to look really close. So you go up the stairs. It's a shotgun style house. It's a 4x4 construction configuration. Means it has a foyer type hallway in the center, and there's two rooms on each side. And the upstairs is a mirror image matches, right? The way this house was built. It was a common style architecture back then.
Right.
When you go up the stairs straight towards the door where the black mass was, and you turn left into Sarah's room, this is the opposite side of the room. They had a laser grid set up, and they're standing towards the window taking a picture towards the door, which is near the hallway. So the black mass you saw in the picture that Scott showed would have been behind this door to the left, where those two double doors are.
So
So it almost looks like you got a figure standing in the doorway is what it looks like.
yeah. This was taken a screenshot taken off of the video footage that's I sent with that.
Oh, gotcha.
Mike, Makayla, and Ash were in there, and I guess Makayla can speak more to what actually happened in there. But we started getting some laser anomalies in there, and part of what happened, what I was trying to do was get a screenshot to show that whatever this laser anomaly was, whenever it would do it, would light up the entire room. And so, I mean, Makayla, you were actually up there. If you want to.
Yeah, so the laser grid in that room was set up when you walk in. It was to the right of the door, kind of pointing towards that window. And Mike was recording almost like perpendicular to that laser grid. And on the video, as he's filming it, this anomaly keeps happening, and it's lighting up the footage in the camera. But he's not at an angle where that grid is like messing with that lens or catching that lens.
You guys want to watch the video? Let's see what Makayla's talking about.
Yeah, there's video.
Yeah. So let me stop sharing this. And here is the video. So basically, the laser grid is pointing this way, and Mike's standing this way, filming towards where the laser grid's pointing.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's moving in the room. So here's that video. Here we go.
That's
Hang on,
wrong.
video. We'll get back to that one. Here's the actual video. Hang on.
What in the world? I don't know. I have to. Something. I don't know. Something coming across the screen. Like right there. Something like passes in front of my camera that's reflecting the green light. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to put it on a big. I don't know. I mean, nothing's moving in here.
Except the dust.
I don't know. See a lot of dust. There is, but I don't know that dust would cause that. It wasn't doing it when we first came in here either. Seriously. It just started doing that just a couple of minutes ago. Huh.
I have a question though.
Okay.
With where you're standing with the camera, I'm assuming the laser grid is behind you.
The way he was standing, it was in the corner. So he's kind of in the middle of the room, almost in front of that window, and the laser grid's in the opposite corner, facing.
Okay, is the laser pointed at the window?
It is.
It is. So I think what that is the laser beam reflecting off the glass and hitting your camera lens. That's my assessment of what I was looking at.
Okay. It seemed like it was sourced from the left side of the frame.
Correct. That's why I was asking where the laser grid was.
Yeah.
Perfect question to ask. Yeah.
That would make sense from her perspective of if the laser grid was here and Scott was standing here, the laser grid's hitting that glass window. Now, I know that's only, I believe, single pane glass, right, Chris?
Right, and the curtains were closed.
The curtains were closed?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
We never open the curtains. They're
Okay.
always closed.
Okay. Was any of the windows showing?
Doesn't look like it from there, but I don't know how much we're seeing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure of that.
Yeah.
Was that reflective? Because I know that was in the title of the video. Laser grid reflective.
That's the best word I could come up with for it. But
Well, so the question I would ask then is that did it seem like, was the grid itself, the source of the grid, was it pulsing, or was the grid, and so it was off of where it was projecting to? That's where the pulsing was happening?
It was in the center of the room, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And as you can see, also at least on the screen, whenever it would do it, it was lighting up the entire room.
Yeah.
Did they see the lighting up of the entire room, or they just saw it on the camera?
Could reproduce. It sort of was.
It was just on the camera.
It was just on the camera. Okay.
So yeah,
Okay. There was no one on the other side.
Yeah. It's hard to assess that one because, when he's taking the footage, I wish that he would have just went a little more to where the source was coming from to see if you can see it.
Ash, had he recorded it?
Yeah, Ash was in the room recording at the same time on his camera.
Oh, good.
So you have a double exposure to what was happening too. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
I can tell you, Mike showed me the video, and I went upstairs, and I couldn't recreate it without a camera.
Okay.
I couldn't get the laser to reflect off the reason I said because the curtains were closed is I couldn't get the laser to reflect off the glass because of the curtains.
That was the impetus for my question. If the laser grid source where it comes out of was pulsing, could that second of a pulse before it puts the dots on the curtain created the illusion of that burst of light on the camera? And I don't know that it could, but that was my question.
Right.
It's possible, but I think the burst that you're seeing, and probably which was reflected in the lighting of the room, is coming off it, reflecting off the lens of the camera itself, because you can see it spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the bigger question is if the laser grid and the camera lens if the camera's not faced right at the laser grid, what's it reflecting off of to reflect onto the camera?
He would have been perpendicular to the laser grid, so the laser grid would have been directly into the lens.
Right.
His lens. I'm sorry. Repeat that again. What was your last sentence?
So you got Mike. I'm trying to deal with my camera. Got Mike here, and then this will be Mike, and then the camera, the laser would have been coming this way, across it,
like this,
and not directly, like that.
Yeah, that's why I wish, because sometimes if you move it just right, it can reflect. But then once you go all the way, the reflection stops. So that's why I was hoping he would just stop at that edge and wouldn't turn the camera more to see.
Right.
That's the only thing I'm a little, I mean, I don't know what's going on. I wasn't there, but I just wish that I could have seen that.
I'd be very interested to see what Ash catches on his camera.
Right.
Absolutely.
If there was something else in the room causing the laser to reflect.
Yeah.
Like maybe a hazy or mist.
That could be possible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ash just sent me a photo. So yeah.
Is it G-rated? Can you show it on the show?
Oh, yeah, it is.
G-rated. That was my rap name in the 80s. No?
Are there more pictures still?
No more pictures, one more video. That's not enough? Good God, we had a black mass. We had a monkey in the...
Yeah, they got some good stuff.
Seriously.
Good stuff.
I just sent you the photo that
Where'd you send it?
It's in a messenger. That's the photo Ash just sent me.
Want to talk about thorough coverage. Not only was there a second camera capturing the moment, but we got it live on air.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Piedmont does not mess around.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
I think
they
we
are
just explained it.
professional.
I think we might have just explained it.
And the window was open.
He wasn't quite perpendicular. He was at a 90-degree angle. So let me share this screen.
He said the window was or wasn't?
Was.
Right?
Unfortunately, I can't zoom because it's in a messenger. But his camera is facing this way. So the laser grid is pointing directly towards the camera.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were moved just at a slight angle, you're going to catch just a little bit of that coming off the front lens.
Yeah.
See the dots on the wall? That tells me the laser grid's directly this way.
Yeah. Okay. And to answer Roger's question, what's looking like a person in the corner there, Roger, is a dress actually hanging on the wall.
Yeah, there's a couple old antique dresses hanging on some pegboards. Everett was trying them on that night. I caught him.
I could FaceTime
you guys.
So, unfortunately, that one, it's hard to say it was an anomaly because if Mike would have adjusted his camera just slightly, he could have caught one of these lasers.
Okay. That would make sense then.
Yeah.
Because this photo really puts the actual setup in perspective.
Yeah, it does. So he wasn't perpendicular. He was at a 90-degree angle, so it was like a T.
Yeah.
So his camera was facing this way, and the laser grid was coming this way. And if he moved his camera just slightly, he could have caught one of those beams.
Yeah.
Which would have given him that anomaly and not been hard to explain because it wasn't quite a direct angle.
Yeah, unfortunately. But you guys got some great evidence. You guys
Oh yeah,
great
don't get me
evidence.
wrong. The other stuff is just amazing.
But you know what? That's why we run this stuff by everyone. We're like, get everyone else's opinion.
Yeah, which is great to do because that's how you see things that maybe you didn't see before or hear things that like, oh, that's a possibility. But what was great was even after what we all figured out, you had evidence from different angles, different perspectives, different cameras. Yeah. And that is the absolute top notch of investigation is being able to go back and look, okay, could it have been, was there anything there? And you were able to do that.
Yeah.
That is what
is always a backup.
Absolutely vital.
I'm proud of my team and the work that they do, the thorough coverage that they put into this.
Agreed.
Fantastic,
yeah. So,
well, Tony's right. Yeah, I was gonna say Tony's 100% right. I agree. I completely agree. That's evidence that we probably hope to show more often on the show, which is using discernment, professionalism, no ego, open-mindedness, peer-reviewed, shared, assessed, extra evidence put forth from another angle. I mean, Tony summed it up. That was perfect. That's everything that you should do with everything you have.
That's right, because not everything's going to be paranormal, right? There's going to be some stuff that.
Right.
You guys pointed out two of the biggest things that we need in the para community is Ron pointed out. Tony said all the perspectives, and then Ron points out ego, and then Scott was the biggest example right there. Is he didn't let his ego get in the way when we said, "Oh, hang on, the angle's different." Yeah, it could have been the laser grid. Exactly. Scott didn't argue it at all.
No, exactly.
That's called integrity. That's what that's called.
Exactly. And, this field catches a lot of, shit to begin with. In order for us to be taken seriously, we have to put things like ego, you got to check those at the door.
Yep.
And so.
Well, that was well done.
Okay, we have a different view on this now. Okay, this isn't evidence. So,
well done, though. Well done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also a perfect example of why we surround ourselves with people like Scott and PPIT is because the integrity is there, the honesty is there, the thoroughness of the investigation, and the honesty coming forward and saying, yeah, you guys are right. This is why we surround ourselves with people like this, to get away from the drama crap of the egos and stuff like that. This is what Para-Unity is about, and this is what the community is about right here.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's great.
It was good. Definitely make you go, what the fuck? But I can tell you right now, honestly, until Ash sent that picture, I went up there and tried to debunk it and couldn't debunk it.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic that you guys covered it like that. Way to go, Ash. Nice job, bud.
Yeah.
What up, Chris Sanders?
What up, Chris?
What up, Chris?
Mr. Chris.
We have got one more piece of evidence that I almost showed you and then went, nope.
Oops.
This is an EVP. You want to talk about this one, Scott?
Yeah. See, first floor, caught on the other laser grid camera, I believe it was. We had laser grids. We had the house thoroughly covered in laser grids. So, but if, one of our earlier shows this year, where in that lower hallway we had what looked like a shadow on a night vision camera go from the stairwell into that Civil War room, and we were like, well, let's cover this hallway with the laser grid, see what we get, and didn't really get anything on the laser itself, but we caught this EVP on it. So
all right, this is Joseph's hallway, right, downstairs?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the Civil War.
All right, here we go.
That is
Yep.
that's Tony. That's his favorite word. All right. All right.
All right. All right.
But this was recorded while Zach and his team were, I think they were still in the dining room or the courtroom. But one of our things for our team is you talk in your regular voice during the investigation, so that anything that sounds like a whisper, that's an EVP.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
That's Cherie's golden rule, and everybody on the EVPE team knows it.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's my golden rule too. I'm like rough with that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't
That was
no
a-
whispering.
That was a great EVP though. Super clear. You can hear exactly what's being said. That was great.
Sounds like it's on top of the camera too.
It did.
That's right. And it's like I know people do it because they're trying to be polite and they whisper, but we're doing an investigation. We need you to speak in
don't be
full
polite.
tone so you can, hear an EVP.
And how many times this is my pet peeve is beyond the investigation locations where we should know. But I think one of the reasons this doesn't go away is how many times are we watching shows?
I was about to say
paranormal shows, and they're all
whispering.
doing it. I don't care how reputable the person in the field is on these shows, right? What was the name one? We could just.
I don't even want to because there's so many. But yeah, and I'm like, why? Me and Rod look at it like, why are they whispering? I don't understand. Who are you being polite to? The spirits themselves? Like, why are you whispering? I don't get it.
The one show was on Amazon. Yeah.
I mean, they're always whispering.
And one show was an Amazon thing or something, and they were in the location, and they were having their little powwow before they go to it, and they're talking in full voice, and then they go, "All right, let's go," and then they walk away, and as they're walking away in the same room, "All right, so listen, here's what we're gonna do." What?
And then if you don't tag it, you would think they don't. You're not gonna remember, even if you're being, like honest with yourself. You're not. The likelihood of you remembering that you whispered that is very low.
No,
and
right. Correct.
With an EVP.
I don't even know where my keys are when I do investigation.
Especially if there's more than 2 people or 4 or 6, you're not going to remember who said what when. No way.
Yeah.
Hey, like, let's go do this, and then they may say, "Let's do this." Like they may say that exact same words, but you just whispered it. So how would you know? Like,
even you know what? Even Ghost Adventures. We watched Ghost Adventures. Not they were doing it too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do they do? Why? And then everybody's gonna be out there whispering because that's what you do. No.
Full voice.
We
not being rude.
We had Spirits of the Southeast, Scott.
Yeah.
Sent me a clip one time and said, "Hey, can you review this for me?" And she goes, "I'm not looking for you to find evidence." She goes, "I want you to critique our investigation style," because they were new, they were fresh, they were green.
Yeah.
And within 10 minutes, I messaged her on Facebook and I went, "Quit fucking whispering."
There you go.
Because they were whispering during the whole thing, and then they'd ask the questions out loud, and then they'd whisper to each other, "Quit fucking whispering." She goes, "How do you know?"
They used to tag all the time.
Yeah, it's your voice. I know your voice. I could tell it was you.
Right.
People reviewing your crap that don't know it's you isn't going to know it's not an EVP.
Right.
Yeah. After a while, I didn't care. I was like, tag whisper. I was like, tag whisper. I don't care. And they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry. No problem. It's okay. I'm just tagging it." Because, you get, I got tired of telling everybody, please don't whisper. I got tired. I'm like, tag.
Yeah, the only thing more accurate than laser tag is Lourdes tag.
Well, getting back to tagging as well, I mean, inevitably, sometimes you walk into a room and forget to tag the recording equipment in there that you walked into the room. Well, if you're talking in your regular voice, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Whoever's reviewing it can say, "Oh, they can listen to that and say, oh, that's Scott's voice. That's Makayla's voice." Or,
right.
Guys, if you're investigating a large location with a bunch of different groups, identify where your equipment's at.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you when we did Trans-Allegheny, it was History of a Haunting. It was Anthony Simonelli Seekers Club. And Teresa, it was PPIT. And I can tell you right now, every one of those people were great with the tagging. The minute they saw my red bucket, "Hey, Chris, it's us." And you knew coming down, anything you picked up was them.
Yeah.
I saw your red bucket once.
You saw 3 or 4 of them, didn't you?
Yeah. Remember you were reviewing your recording?
Yeah.
He did the same thing.
I intentionally tagged it.
Yeah. So everybody, when we did the Montgomery House, the 6 of us in the top row that you're seeing right now, my red buckets, I had my recorder in the, I think it was in the courtroom.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my review, and I come past my review, and all of a sudden I hear, "Christoph Allgod." It was Ronald.
That's hilarious.
I wouldn't be surprised if one day you get an EVP saying that in that house.
Come
Yeah.
across Staticom now.
Oh, maybe Staticom. Yeah.
Crisped up all got. And ever since he told me that story, I said I got to leave it as recorded.
Does Raul not know about my red buckets?
He may not.
He might not.
That's funny though.
Okay, really quick for everybody that doesn't know about Chris's red buckets.
We'll do that, Roger.
Yeah. So whenever I go to an investigation, I bought this. If you go on Amazon, they have this giant beer pong set. The ball's like this big, and the buckets are like little red trash buckets. And when I do a big investigation, I do an investigation, I use these red buckets and I place my equipment on top of the red buckets. That way I know at the end of the night, if I'm missing 6 buckets, I have 6 pieces of equipment somewhere in this location, and it's sitting on a red bucket, and I can identify it quickly when I'm going to search for it. It's a hell of a lot easier than looking for a black recorder this big in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, it helps the rest of the investigators to know that it's there too. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and
So
when other teams come through, they
Right.
see my red bucket, they know I have a piece of equipment sitting there.
yeah.
That's cool.
Very smart.
Yeah.
All right. We have reached the point in the show. Shameless plugs. Makayla, Scott, where can we find you? What are you doing? Where can people see you? Where can they reach out to you? What can they do to get you to come investigate their bathroom because they got funny noises coming out of their toilet?
Well, ironically, we just received a email through our website, PiedmontParanormal.com, for another possible residential investigation. We were planning on kicking off our year at Trivet Clinic, but it looks like we're going to be kicking it off with a residential.
Nice.
So more to come on that here soon. Facebook, Piedmont Paranormal Investigation and Research. Also on YouTube and TikTok. But some of the things we got going on. Well, yes, Makayla is one of our new investigators. This week we also brought on, we interviewed and brought on another investigator. I believe she's in the chat. Tori Byer. She will be starting with us here soon. And Ash originally was an honorary member of PPIT, but this past week he has become a full-time member of PPIT. He will be our documentarian.
Yep.
Oh, very good.
Very cool.
That's the
That's cool.
evidence he just
Hands
showed. Yep.
We've got some exciting stuff going on right now. So
Fantastic. And just like the invitation's always open, Scott. Anytime you guys want us to join us, we'd be happy to join you guys.
absolutely. I'll let you know what pans out with this residential, and also when we have a date finalized for Trivet. as
Cool.
well.
And props for Ash. Ash put out a YouTube video called The Angry
Man.
The Angry Man, which was part of that private where we had Amanda on the show when PPIT did a private at her investigation. Ash was also doing a documentary on it, and he actually did a section on us on that video. It was pretty cool. So,
Yeah, I saw that. It was great. Well done.
It was very well done. So
Ash is a good dude, really good dude, in law enforcement and
Brian,
nice
let me know, buddy. We will get up. Let me know.
Yeah. And anybody watching interested in doing the Montgomery House, just reach out to Audra and I. It will be opening it back up probably towards the end of February once we get out of the colder months, because there's no insulation in that place, y'all. You don't want to be in there. No.
Oh, and Monkey Boy's freezing.
Yeah, PJ and the Bears freezing his little banana box.
Yes,
There you go.
Ash will still be running his Inspectors Paranormal YouTube channel.
There you go. Ash is a really solid dude. I can tell you guys, we've worked with PPIT numerous times on a couple privates with these guys, doing, help. I've never seen a group as active in helping private home people clear up their house and get their life back in order as I have with PPIT. They're a great group of people.
Yeah.
Kayla's a great addition to the group. She's a really awesome person. We got to spend the evening with her at the Montgomery house.
Well, she rides around with the ghosts. So, you know.
Whoa, hang on, what?
She can tell you about her little.
Elaborate, Makayla.
I think I can't about her car rider that she has.
She froze again.
I think she's frozen. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
There she goes. There she goes.
It's cutting out a little bit on my end.
Tell us about your
I'm sorry. You'll have to repeat what you asked.
I was
tell us about your hitchhiker.
Car rider.
Oh, my hitchhiker. Yes. Don't know. Picked him up sometime a couple years ago. Chills in my back seat. Catch just a glimpse of him every now and then, but I've seen him enough now. I could draw a picture of him if I had to.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Does he doesn't talk? Doesn't say anything?
Nope, just sits in the back seat.
you just turn around and say, "Hey, Uber gets paid, fucker."
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put cards in. I don't know. I only ever see him in my car, and it has been a couple years now, 2 or 3 years now, and every now and then he's just in the back seat.
Does your husband know?
In your car.
I know, right?
He does.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, that is true. It's maybe it came with my car. I've had my car about 3 years.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah.
Just going to ask you that.
It's possible. I mean, when me and Zach were working together for the EMS service, I mean, it's very possible that there are things attached to ambulances. I mean, unfortunately, people die in the
I wouldn't
back.
doubt that.
Mhm.
That was your last ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had one particular ambulance that when you get a new ambulance, it's not completely always new. They will sometimes take the box off of an old one and put it on the new frame and then operate that box for 2 or 3 rounds of doing that. And we had one particular ambulance at the main EMS base that was plagued with being in wrecks constantly. And I believe Zach and I we got a high EMF reading off of that ambulance one time. So
I see that. You know why I took, and I don't even think the person needs to pass on. There's a lot of emotions in that ambulance that happens that can get imprinted. That I don't think that it matters if the person moves on or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's the parents with those emotions.
Yeah.
That's very possible. But think of all the advantages to being able to use the HOV lane.
There you go. There you go.
So you're over here, just keep looking. I'll be back. I'm gonna get a soda. I'll be back. When you see him, you'll let me go.
It's our new business venture, getting spirits to manifest to use the carpool lane.
Right. That'd be great.
It's called static commute.
There you go. That is awesome.
I don't know where he's going. I haven't figured out where he's trying to get me to take him yet, but
The haunted occupancy
pretty
vehicle.
cool.
That was funny.
That's awesome.
You could like it.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us again. We got some more great guests coming up in the next few weeks. Make sure you tune in next time, same channel. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Makayla, for being on. Once again, you guys are just a phenomenal group of people, and we love being a portion of you. We love calling you guys friends, and we love that the fact that you're in the community, and Para-Unity is one of the things that you guys live by. It's fantastic. Yes, officer, I have pastors, but you can't see that. Thanks, everybody, for coming out again. We will see you next week, same time, same channel, same 6 people. Sorry. I'm going to keep apologizing, but you guys you're glutton for punishment. Yeah. Glutton for punishment. Remember, guys, if you want to catch a black mass upstairs, you got to come to the Montgomery house. If you want to meet BJ and the Bear, you got to come to the Montgomery house. But most of all, you got to stay haunted. All right, guys, we will see you next week. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Can you give me a name? What's your name?